So I recently cut this pass-through doorway into the back of the box truck, but now it needs a door. So we cut this pass-through door in here a couple of weeks ago, and we're absolutely loving having the access in from the box to the cab. But something that we discovered after we had put this in here is how much noise there is, road noise, in the back, in the box. It's really loud. So it's not insulated yet. I'm planning on furring out and insulating the walls and the ceiling and all that, and that's going to help an awful lot. But another thing that's going to help with the road noise while we're driving is if I put a door here that I can close while we're driving. Now, we debated for a while about how to do this. I can't really do a door that opens into the cab because the seats are in the way. If I did one that opens this way, then when it's open, it blocks access to the shower and the toilet, which will be over here. If I open it the other way, then it blocks access to my my desk over here where I'll be doing all my editing and stuff like that. So what we've decided to do is do a sliding pocket door. So it will be here and then it'll just slide over this way, barn door kind of sliding type thing. So I can't find one that small, so I just had to buy a regular door, and I'm going to have to cut it down to the right height and then put it in there. Now I could just, this is the track for it, I could just screw it right to the wall right there, but like I said, I'm planning on insulating a lot of this, so I'm going to fur this out and move the door out 1.5 inches so that I have room to put insulation in there. So let's get started. Now this is the track that the door will run on, and I bought this as a kit. It comes with the track and it comes with the wheels and everything that you need to mount the door. So I'm going to have to use a hacksaw to cut this off at the right length because it goes over too far. Now this is the roller that gets screwed to the top of the door, and then it slides right in here. And I need to cut the length of the door from here down, and it looks like if I look at the distance from this metal piece right here where the top of the door would be down to this point, looks like it's 1/4 inch. So if I measure from here to the floor and then add 1/4 inch, that should give me the right height for the door. Now the floor is going to have 2x like that with insulation in between, and then a 1/2 inch piece of plywood on top of that, and then the vinyl on top of that. So from this point I want to subtract a 1/2 inch for the plywood, another 1/2 inch for the vinyl and stuff. So that's 1 inch. I'm going to subtract 1.25 inches for the height of the door. It's right at 42, so I'm going to go at 40 3/4. That should do it. Now this is an interior hollow core door. As you can see, that just cuts down a lot on the weight. They've got solid wood on both sides, but the middle is hollow, and it's basically just, this is just cardboard. It's got a network of cardboard in there to help support it. So what I need to do is put a strip of wood in here. Trouble is, I just need to put something in there, and a 2x4 is, it's 1.5 inches, and it's just a little bit too wide. So I've got to rip this down to the right width in order to get it in there. But in order to do that, I need a table saw, and my table saw is in Virginia. If I try to do this with a skill saw, it could be pretty rough. So, but normally I would rip this down, take out a little bit of this frame, network of cardboard here, slide the wood in, and just glue it and clamp it or nail it, little finishing nails to finish it off. But even as it is, this will be on the bottom, and there's just not that much stress on it, so I'm going to go ahead and hang it as it is, and then when I get to Virginia, I'll take the door off, and then I'll put this little strip in here and make it solid. So now, before I mount the wheels on the top, I just want to check the height. Got my piece of 2x4 down there. There'll be plywood on top of that. So I got about 1 inch here. The plywood will lift it up a 1/2 inch, which gives me like a 1/2 inch gap. Once I lift it all the way up, it'll give me a 1/2 inch gap underneath of the door. If it's too long, I can always cut off a little bit more. So I think it'll be fine just like it is. Now these are designed so that you put this in the track, and then you can slide that in there like that and lock it in place. Like that. But since I can slide this in from the end of the track, I think that's going to be easier than putting those in and then locking it in. And there we have it. I still have to put a guide on the bottom to keep it from swinging like that. I need to put stops on both ends, put a latch in there, but that's the basic idea. And wow, that works nice and smooth. I like that. So obviously I've still got a lot of work to do. Put something on the bottom to keep this from swinging, that sort of thing. Put boards around here and latches and stuff, but give it a shove.
Oh my goodness, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to kind of, somehow it'll latch here?
Yeah. Well, there'll be a wood frame all the way around it, and there'll be a latch handle lock thing right there to lock it shut.
Well, that's just smooth as silk.
Yep.
We'll paint it. It's going to be nice, isn't it, hon?
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty cool.
Right now it's just, you know, painted primer on there, and so it's got some smudges on it and stuff, but eventually all that'll be painted over.
And we should still end up with a really nice piece of wood left over.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I wonder if there's anything we can do with it for the
other
barrel.
half of the door?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that is just as smooth as glass.
Yeah.
Cool. And this will be framed around so the sound isn't going to become more.
Yeah, it'll be like this 2x4 here. There'll be more of them all the way, framing all the way around it.
Cool.
Now, right now, the door will just run right off of there, but I have this little metal stop that I put in there under the track to stop the door. That's why I wonder if that's why they call it a stop. There we go. Now it won't come off the end of the track. So I had to take the door off the track again in order to put this in, because the door didn't go that way far enough. Should have done that before I put the door on. I was just excited to see how the door track was going to work. Now I can put the door back on. Now there's this guide down here that's supposed to go there to keep this from swinging. All right. That's actually kind of flimsy, to tell you the truth. But once I actually get the floor installed, then I'll put something here into the floor to help keep it from doing this. But this will work for now. Now that I've got the door installed, I need to put a latch over here to keep it closed. So I went down to the local Ace hardware store, and they had this that was designed for sliding doors, and you turn this little knob right here and this little hook comes out. The problem is, the way it was packaged, I could only see the front, and when I unpackaged it, I discovered that on the back it doesn't have a handle on it. You have to use a screwdriver, and we have to be able to open it from both sides. And also, this, quite frankly, is quite cheap with that little hook there. So I went and looked at another hardware store in town, and then I looked at Lowe's, and then I looked in Home Depot. They all had just this. That was the only one. So then I went to Amazon. Should have gone there from the beginning. And they had this one that's made for bathroom doors, and it's considerably more substantial handle on both sides, and it's got a color code, not that we ever need it, but it's got a color code here, red and green right in there, so that you can see if somebody's in there or not. And then this is the main part, the strike plate, and when you close it, watch what this does. Much more substantial. Those little tags come out and lock into this. So I'm very happy with this. This cost $26. The other one cost, I think, $12. But this is definitely the way to go. So I'll put a link in the description for this doorknob for this sliding door. It took, once I ordered it, of course it took several days to get here. So we've been driving around like this, and this thing slides so easy that every time we go around the slightest turn, it would slide close, and then it would slide open. Crazy. So I ended up propping it open. I mentioned that one of the reasons we wanted to have this, of course, for privacy, but also to help keep some of the noise from the back here from going up into the cab when we drive, and it really does make a difference. But another main reason that I didn't mention was that we want to close the door so we can keep the heat and the air conditioning up in the cab, so that the air conditioning up there isn't trying to air condition this whole back unit. That's not enough to do all of this. So by closing that, we can keep the cab nice and warm, or nice and cool. I need to put another 2x4 right here as a door jamb, someplace to mount the strike plate for the doorknob. But when I put that in, you see that the door comes out a 1/4 inch further than that, and so the door jamb would be, the strike plate would be off center. So I cut this little piece of 1/4 inch plywood, which I'll put in there, and that brings it out to level. I'll actually put the little piece behind this plywood like that, bring that out level with it. Now, in order to install this doorknob in here, I have to drill a hole. And I have all the tools that I need to do that up in Virginia. When we came down here last September or whenever we came, we had no idea we were going to be buying this truck. I had no idea I was going to be doing all of this work. So I had to go buy the tools. So I had to get a 2 1/4 inch hole saw and the auger bit that goes with it. Had to get a 1 inch paddle bit, drill bit, and a chisel. These 4 tools, these are very expensive. These four tools cost me 75 bucks. So I need 75 bucks in order to mount a $25 doorknob. That's the way it goes. So here's the way this works. When you buy a doorknob like this, it gives you a template. So what you do is this line right here, you fold it right on that line, and that line then is the corner of the door. This is the edge. Put that on the corner, and then that shows you exactly where you need to drill the hole. And then over here shows you where you need to drill the hole in the edge of the door based on how thick the door is. You can do this just by measuring, but it's much easier with this template. So the directions say that this hole has to be 54 millimeter drill bit. It's like, what, are you kidding me? I'm an American. I don't know what 54 millimeters is. And there wasn't anything anywhere on here that said the imperial sizes. So I had to figure out how to convert it. Turns out 54 millimeters is 2 1/8 inches. You don't buy drill bits in America with millimeter sizes, so I converted it to 2 1/8. And then when I went down and bought it, and there it says right there 2 1/8 inches, and then right under that real small it says 54 millimeters. I never knew that it had that on there because I've never needed it before. Anyway, that confirms that I did the conversion correctly and I got the right size drill bit. I need to drill the pilot hole in the center all the way through because I have to drill that side from this way, otherwise it'll splinter the door when the hole saw comes out. So you always want to drill in. Now this door is hollow back here, but it's got a solid wood piece up through here that I had to drill through. Gotta go a lot deeper than that. Alright, so there's an arrow right here that says up, so I put it this way, and this is now flush with the edge of the door. Okay, I've had another bit of a blow here. I didn't discover it until right now. I've already got these already all in and ready to mount. That's when I discovered that these don't both turn. This one turns to unlock the door. This one is static, it won't turn. It's got a little red and green little thing in there that I mentioned earlier, so you can tell from this side whether it's open or closed, but you can't open it from this side. They don't, I want one that opens on both sides, and they just don't seem to make them. So we talked about it for quite a while. Which one do we want to be the active side and which one is the static side? I think we're going to put the active side from the cab so that when we're driving, we need to be able to lock the door shut from the cab, otherwise it slides back and forth. If we're stopped and we've got the door open, it'll stay there. I don't foresee any reason why we would be in the back while it's driving and we're going to want the door closed. If Elizabeth is sleeping back here while we're driving, we're going to want the door open so that she can communicate with me. So I think we're going to put the active side on the cab side and the static side over here. And if need be, I can possibly put some kind of a hook and loop little lock right there to lock it from the inside if I want to. But you know, when we're spending the night, we're going to have those doors locked, so this one doesn't really have to lock, but we would just feel better if it does. Anyway, okay, I had to think that through to figure out which way to do it. They give you these things that go in here, and they give you different lengths depending on how big or how thick your door is. Putting these two screws in here that hold them in place. Okay, I got it working now. It's stiff, but hopefully it'll loosen up. See the way this comes out? These little things come out. That's pretty cool. And it grabs onto the strike, which is on the other side that I haven't installed yet. A little deeper. Now I chiseled this out for the strike plate just like I did on the other side. I just didn't film it. This little plastic thing goes in there. Now I need to go into the other side and see if it latches. Well, so let's see if this will latch. That's it. Lock shut. Very cool. I like it. And this thing is so smooth and easy on the tracks up there. And this will keep it from moving back and forth while we drive. Okay, so here's the bar. It's quite big.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're going to want it up high, but
Yeah, I guess
you tell me. We can put it wherever you want it,
probably about as high as it will reasonably go.
which is right there. Is that where you want it?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to have it up about as high as I can really make it go.
Okay. You want to come through?
Yes, thank you. Okay, now I'm just gonna try to make sure I don't hit my head on the top thing here. Oh, I didn't. Fine.
This will be
There.
much easier for her once this is installed.
Oh yeah,
So also you're going to want it for the shower, so I assumed you'd want it as high as possible.
yeah. That having the shower right there, that's gonna be very, very handy.
So right there it is.
Yep, I think that looks fine.
Okay.
And I didn't bump my head here at all.
All right. Okay.
Great. Cool. I'm getting through there better than I expected to. And then the other one's going to be outside here?
Yeah, the other one goes on the outside of that door there.
Okay, that'll be really good.
I bought two of these, one for in here and one for outside the door.
Yeah.
Planning ahead.
They're really going to be useful in both places. Like, I like how long they are because it gives a lot of different possibilities for what to grab.
Here you go, dear one. Good and solid.
Good. Now, I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
This bed is going to come out a little ways, and then is the shower going to fit in the space that's
I
left?
measured the shower, I put the wall there, the 2.5-inch wall, and then the shower comes out to right here.
Oh, that's going to be
So
just about
There'll be
perfect.
plenty of room.
Excellent.
Of course, all of this is going to be finished off. You know, this is all rough right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, this is really nice. So this just opens. I think I'm going to tend to do it like this. No, I'm not doing this right. I've done this before. Sorry. There we go. See, that made a big difference right there.
It's a matter of learning the correct technique.
Yeah, it's all, it
And
all
this,
goes down.
this
to
is not
technique.
going to be something we're going to just be running in and out through here. It's more of an emergency type thing, or if it's raining or something like that.
Yep.
Most of the time we'll probably go out and around, but it just makes it possible to get through, which is really cool. I figured you'd put a leg through first. That's what I usually do.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
Yep.
It all boils down to technique. So yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out what leg goes through first, and
Right.
we're not going to be using it all the time, but it's nice to know it's there if we need to, especially if it's really bad weather.
Yep.
Okay. Ready? See, that gets faster all the time.
You happy with that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Good. But we've obviously got a long way to go yet.
Yeah.
But everything that we do like this takes it one step closer, makes it more of a reality and not just a dream in my mind.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about this.
I'm actually, not that I'll plan on this all the time, but boy, I'm doing much better with this than I really expected to. Because, I mean, that regular door will be my usual. But I can do this.
Yeah,
So.
it's just a matter of technique. She has to remember to put one leg through first, both directions. And when she does that, she comes through okay.
Yep.
So
You did really well with that,
Yeah.
sweetheart. It's really cool.
thanks for watching.
Yeah, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
Love you guys. Of course, we'll be bringing you along for all this other stuff.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.